Peace. I will be doing these probably, the intention is every day for the rest of the year. I had a personal goal of myself that I will come to this place of learning and witnessing with my own being in practice is speech and listening to myself, a journey within and purpose to share, that we all may come to this, a way of our own being. So it has been my intention that I will do one of these a day for the remainder of the year, to continue and grow in this for myself and for any others who find themselves along a similar path and witness to me. And I thank you for that. So if you have been tuning in, if you have been taking the time to witness and listen and share of your own being and presence of mind, I thank you for that. That is greater to me than you may ever know. This blessed opportunity of friendship that we may share of each other, that you may witness of me, and that I may witness of you, even if it is so in such a way that I never see your face or know your name. But in witnessing me, I am a witness to you, and what comes awake of you that has lived in me, this shared presence and oneness that we are together, and that we are blessed in this. And so I thank you for your time and for your presence. And often I hope and I pray in God's revealed nature upon all things that we find each other here, a delivered state of being in nature, that we are together, and that we are blessed, and that we are more together in a witnessing of each other uniquely in this process of coming awake to oneself, this path within and so revealed without, and all that you are. As I come to myself, so too will you come of yourself through this transformed witnessing of my being. This transformed witnessing of my being, as I witness myself in such a way, you are transformed in my eyes. The way that I see you is new. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that because we need this of ourselves and we need this of each other. That we find value, not as a resource, not that I need of you, not that you are something that I may use, not that you are a source of gratification, but that you are a revealed nature of my own being, and I of yours, and that this is special, that we are blessed, that there is another, that I may witness your human life through mine uniquely, and that I may change my perspective and my sight to a revealed higher truth that you are and that I am, and that there is purpose in this, and that there is great worth and wealth in this. That you may be as you are, and that I may be as I am. That there is value in what we share of each other. A genuine connection. An allowance for this. A presence and an allowance for this. And this discussion that we're having always, It is beautiful, the belonging we have in each other. It is beautiful and it is frightful because it cannot be denied if you're going to have an honest and true presence for it. You cannot be denied. The belonging we have for each other, even in the way that we cause a harm or a trespass or an abuse of ourselves through our relation with another or from another upon ourselves. It reveals of our own being where we are incomplete in this way, Whenever you want from another and you do not receive the just likeness that you would like to be reflected to you, it reveals upon our own self and our own nature and our own being, where is the lack of wholeness? Where have I abandoned myself? Where have I abandoned myself and asked for you to be a replacement to this, to which you could never be rightfully, not justly, you could never justly fill a void that I am lacking of my own being, and this is of your being upon any other that you seek this from. And so it is beautiful and it is frightful. And what do we find in the frightful nature of things? But our own protected and delivered nature, that we may come to our own being and have a fullness and have a wholeness in everything we would not like to look at of ourselves. That we do not abandon these things, this place, these wounded places, these places of hurt, these places of lack, these places of loss, that we do not abandon these things, that we have a directed awareness and presence upon these things, that we have an acceptance and an allowance for hurt, for lack, for loss, that we have a presence and an allowance, that we give this gift of presence and allowance, acceptance and forgiveness for the harm we feel of our own being. You see, this allows the fulfillment, this allows the wholeness, this allows the truth to come and be and live within you. Life that you are, the one that cannot be removed, the one that cannot be lost. And so how then can we do this for ourselves, and how then can we do this for each other? What makes a good friend? What makes a good friend? A good friend is honest. And what that really truly means is that a good friend, in being honest, will not deny themselves upon you, and they will not deny you in your own wounded being or your own greatness and glory. That we are not diminished in front of each other, that we are not diminished in the witnessing of each other, that you do not need to lose yourself to have of mine, and I do not have to lose of my being to have of yours. A good friend is honest. This mostly means, more than anything, it means that I will go through this with you, that I will go through my own darkness, that you will bring out from within me in our interactions in which you invoke of your own being upon me and me to you. Inevitably, we are not perfect. We do not come to this world free of an abuse of ourselves or each other. We do not come into this world this way. We come with flaws. We find conditions upon ourselves. From the beginning of man till now, we are having this discussion. What is the right way to treat each other? What is sacred? What cannot be trespassed upon? What is the correct way for us to have this relation, this conversation, this connection? In what ways can I have boundaries of myself while remaining an open heart, in a justice, in a truth? In what ways may I be a protection to you in a softness of my own being as well? That that I may witness freely my own innocence, that I have blood-soaked hands, that I go through these things, that there is a nature within me, that horrible things may be done justly, and that I may remain free in this way, And it is so perfect. It is so perfect, the imperfection of it. From the beginning of man's time until now, this conversation, this learning, your ancestors live within you. And everything that they have gone through, at some point in time, in every man's line, there was a man with a sword in his hand, riding out to battle. And so we have all come from this. Even to be birthed into the world could be seen as a violent thing, is a difficult thing, is a harmful thing, is a traumatic experience, and a beautiful one, a transformative one that gives life. So we all have this in us, in unique, specific ways that we may learn of ourselves and each other. We all have this in us. We all have these traumas. We all have these difficulties that we must overcome. These reasonings to believe a lack of our own self. We all have this in us. And it's a perfect purpose of God that we come to it, this awareness of God, and knowledge of our own being and nature. What is right? What is true? What is the correct way for me to uphold of myself and be allowed that I may give and receive of you in a correct and just and righteous way? And that there is forgiveness, that there is honesty between us, that things will not be perfect, that I will be wrong and that you will be wrong, and that there may be a learning and a teaching here, and that we will go through it together. That is good, and that is beautiful, and that is true. A good friend is honest. And so you must be this firstly to yourself. You are the context. I'm a context. It's every occurrence in my life. If I'm humble, if I understand my own divinity, the nature I'm created in, if I'm humble to it, if I'll accept this upon myself, if I'll have presence simply to witness the truth of it, as it is continually revealed upon all things, if you will observe and witness the truth of it, the nature upon you, the way of things, the way that you are, the way that I am. All of these occurrences, all of this context that I am, all of this is being facilitated upon me. I am exactly in the correct and empowered position to learn and fulfill the truth of my nature in the next step. And it does not matter how many times I fall down. The mistakes are not the missteps. They are taking you somewhere. They are bringing you home. And this is a place you always have been, and that you always will be. It is a place within yourself. And it is blessed in this way that we have a world, that we have an earth to walk upon, that there is a truth that we may strive for, a great adventure that we may undertake, to conquer and to learn of our own darkness, that there is an ultimate good, and that any restriction placed upon you that you do not have this is a gift that you may conquer and overcome and inherit all things, and be a mastery upon this. Be a mastery upon this, all things. You know? And it is a bit like poetry to say. You can speak it, and it will invoke that truth within you. But it is not simply done as it is said. And in the same way, as it is said, it is done. Which you must speak with the entirety of your being. It must be more than your tongue, it must be your heart, must be your hand. The way that you think, what you observe of yourself and others, in the way that you witness all that is before you, and what you decide in this witnessing of your own being. I see a wickedness upon the world, and I do not see a victim in my own self. I see a wickedness upon the world, and I see a reason that I may be upright and strong and foster this in all things that witness to me, that my footsteps upon this earth create heaven. That where my presence is, this too will be found, justice and truth, love and forgiveness, acceptance and deliverance, that these things walk as I do, they speak as I do, and that I will not be perfect to this, but forgiveness is perfect in me. And so I'm allowed my failures, I'm allowed to fall down, and you are allowed these as I have allowed them in myself, that I may overcome forgiveness here. I grant this upon your being as it is granted upon mine, that you are forgiven, that you are blessed, that your nature is divine, that I will treat you sacredly as I have found of my own being a righteous and true way. That heaven live as you and I do, and that we decide this upon ourselves. So I will not deny you. I will be honest. I will be a good friend to you. And perhaps you and I, whoever I may be speaking to, an infinite number of you, perhaps you and I, in this time or the next, or in some time in the past, perhaps we have rode into battle, and one has met death. Still, I find this to be beautiful, that in this we may be honest, and that we learn, and that all of it has brought us here to this moment, that we may have this sacred knowledge, divinity within our own being, and that we may lay down all that has come before us humbly, and that we may sit at each other's feet and accept the lesson, accept the teaching that you are in observance of each other and ourselves, and that you may accept the teaching that I am in observance of each other and ourselves. And this is beautiful, and this is true. Places of learning and teaching, and witnessing true. And I thank you. I thank you for all that you go through, and that you witness uniquely, and that you contribute to the witnessing of my being, and that I may witness you honestly, and be of myself honestly, and that have and live and breathe and speak and walk and talk and act about in the world that earth may have heaven. And that these are decisions we make together. And I thank you for that. And we are blessed upon each other in that. And above and before and within and without. In all of the earth and all of the heavens, all that is within and without, and above and below. Glory and grace and thanks and grace are due to God. And this lives within you. And this lives within me. And this is humility. And this is grace. That authentically we bring ourselves to this. That it is forced upon no other. Not even forced upon oneself. That you walk through the fire, in the flames. Winding path through the forest and up the mountain. Around the bend. Thorns in your feet. Flowers and fruits you may find. In the garden again. And I thank you for all that will be and all that has been. Gratitude. Life returned upon another. And we will do this together. So thank you for coming along with me. And I hope, humbly, that you are thankful for me as well. And that in this witnessing of ourselves and each other, God is what is remembered. And that we bring this into every space. Into every space and place and presence found here of dwelling of God. Glory, grace, strength, thanks, grateful God, that you are courage, strength, protection. With you, peace.